Hello and welcome to our 12th Impact Youth video devotional as we go through the book of Genesis. Today I'm going to be talking about Genesis chapter 37 through 39. And in Genesis chapter 37 we pick up this character Joseph, who is one of the children of Jacob. And we're first introduced to him as a guy who God gives a whole bunch of dreams. And in all of these dreams, essentially God is showing him that at one time in his life coming up in the future, his entire family is going to be bowing down to him. And in his youthfulness, Joseph doesn't understand how to communicate this, or maybe that he should. And what he does is he creates a really unhealthy environment with his brothers, and they all think that he thinks he's better than them. And so we have this situation where then his brothers end up selling him to get rid of him because they can't stand him. And Joseph is taken by slave traders off to Egypt. And then in chapter 38, we're abruptly taken to this story where Judah, who is one of Joseph's brothers, but clearly he's an older guy. He has sons who are already old enough to get married. We pick up this story with him and his sons. And the situation that's being explained is, in the culture, if a son died and had never given children to his wife, it was the responsibility of the next youngest brother to marry that woman and to give her children that would be counted as through the oldest brother. I know it's a weird cultural thing we don't do here, but that's the situation that's going on here. And what we see is that they don't follow through and give Tamar, the wife of Judah's oldest son, the child that she deserves. We end up with a really interesting story there. It stands out of place. The reason I think it's there is because it tells us how Judah's family line continues after him. And why would that matter? Why would Moses have written it down? I don't think Moses understood the significance of knowing Judah's story, but we'd know it today. Judah is the line that David came through. All the 12 tribes of Abraham, or of Jacob specifically, his sons, Jesus comes through the line of Judah. And so I think it's God's hand that he makes sure that we have this story of where Judah's children came from and how even this constant manipulation and lying and cheating, yes, we saw it in Jacob's life, and now we see it pass through all of his kids in all of these stories. And then 39 turns back to the life of Joseph, and we see where Joseph lands in Egypt. And what we see is that God is blessing everything that Joseph's hands touch. God blesses them. And then in chapter 40, I think you should read through chapter 40 as well. We see Joseph in jail, and again, everything Joseph does turns to gold, so much so that the prison guard even hands over all control, essentially, of that wing of the prison to Joseph to run and rule it and take care of it, because God is with Joseph as Joseph is faithful to God. Those are the chapters I want you to read. It's some of my favorite parts of the book of Genesis. I hope that you enjoy it. You are almost to the end.